716 Papa Bravo here with another firearm review using our talking points here. And what's this? A Glock Gen 1 in the house? Model 17? Holy moly. Looky there. This is a early model Glock. You see it only has one trigger pin. Safety check, of course. Clip is empty. This has been around for a long time. I bought this from a friend of mine who had it, and he shot it to death. When I got it, the mainspring was all wore out. Trigger was all wore out. Everything was done in this thing. I got it for a decent price and went to fixing it. First thing I did, of course, was put a Crimson Trace laser sight on it. As you can see. Love those things. Great assist in the evening, which is when most of your problems happen, of course. I don't know if you can tell it in there, but I have a Glock Works fulcrum trigger in there. It's about a 3.5 pound, 4 pound trigger. Really easy to install. Did it myself. Thank me very much. We'll be take down on the Glock. You can see it's a pretty standard Gen 1 Glock. Again, single pinned. Saw a lot of wear. I put a captive spring in it. Titanium spring, or titanium push rod. Also had to replace the barrel. All the springs in the striker fired system and plunger parts all came in a kit from Glock Works. Really rugged, well built, very boxish, very squarish, as you can tell. Had to replace the barrel also. This is a Wolf barrel for a Glock. Slip-in barrel, fit perfectly, no modifications required. Virtually no problems with this barrel at all. It goes right together. You can see the safety on the trigger. Very little over travel, and it resets pretty fast. This is a 9mm Model 17 Gen 1. Weighs in at about 22 ounces, empty of course. Been used as a service pistol for years and years, since the late 80s. I don't know exactly how old this one is, other than it's a Gen 1. With all the new parts in it, it's become a very accurate weapon. Again, I still had the original barrel, but I wanted to have something that was a little more shooter friendly and not totally shot out when I got this thing. So, as you can see, maintenance is a snap. Basically, with it like any Glock, you're going to pull down on the release pins after you pull the trigger. The top half slides right off. Easy to replace, easy to clean. Maintenance has been a snap. Being a Gen 1 does not have a rail on it or any of that stuff, so the accessories are kind of limited, other than I did put the laser sight on there. Value, I picked this weapon up used. I think I paid like $250 for it, and I spent probably another $200 on putting new parts in it, trigger, innards on the springs, etc., and then the new barrel. It depends on where you get the parts, of course, and then the laser grip begins at like $300. So I'm probably gonna have about $800 altogether, but it's still what I think is a good deal. Very rugged weapon. As you can tell, easy use. Clip release, it's right here. They fall right out. I did put a butt plug in here to block off the, this is open when you don't have that plug in there. Did do that. Other than that, ease of use is just fantastic. Release is all in the right place. Everything's in the right place for it. Track record, these guys have been around for 30 years now, and I'll tell you what, they're on Gen 4, but they've made improvements in the grip surfacing. The back strap, they put a new back strap on so you can interchange for thicker, thinner. They've done 2-pin trigger pins. They've put rail accessory up front. They've improved some mechanisms in the slide, etc. But the basic weapon has remained exactly the same over all these years. And I'll tell you what, I've shot many around through this. I've had one stovepipe, and it's because I let somebody else shoot it who weak-wristed it. So it wasn't the fault of the gun. Very reliable, put together well, typical Glock. But there is a Glock in the house. And that's my Glock 17.